Ultra. King Kong. King Kong. King Kong.
I'm back. Road Rants on Marvel. Marvel has released a trailer for a new product called the New Warriors. Now, I went to said trailer. You guys know I do reactions like crazy, so we're going to react to it. It's got 2,000, actually 1.9 thousand upvotes and 44,000 downvotes. This is what we refer to in the YouTube community as being downvoted straight to hell. And evidently there are some very interesting new characters, so to speak, in this. So let's do a reaction to it. Here we go.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s, and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher who had a blade coming out of his wrist. Nova was really buff. They were all the edgy characters for the 90s, as the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around for 30 years. My editors on the previous books I'd done, like Loki and Black Panther versus Deadpool, asked if I would be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in.
Black Panther versus Deadpool sounds good.
The authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels, and I really liked the tension of that. So because the New Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring new Warriors who are under 21 and subject to the laws that triggered the Outlawed event.
What is that?
The law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors and gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes, sort of
as
classic
modern
and instantly familiar. So the first character that we're introduced to is
because
Trailblazer.
fuck tradition.
She's a group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs to the rescue. And
Marvel
she helps
is
him,
promoting
she ends up
obesity
in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law, and she
bad
inherited
heart
from her
health.
grandfather a magic backpack
God.
of divine origin. We picked the name Trailblazer
Wow.
because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good
She
with this,
charges into
mysterious
action.
gift that she's been given.
But after 30
Screen Time
feet, she has to
is
stop and take a
internet
breath.
kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas, and that has patched him permanently into
Experimental
the World Wide
internet
Web.
gas.
The word screen time is only ever used in a sort of restrictive
This may give me gas.
sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of the names are about teens fighting against labels that
This
are put
guy
on them.
doesn't need to
So
be
with screen time, we
anywhere
liked the idea that
near
he has infinite screen time.
comic
Snowflake
books.
and Safe Space are the twins, and their names are very similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as derogatory.
You
to take
called
those words and kind
a
of wear them
black
as
person
badges of honor.
snowflake.
Safe Space
Marvel.
is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. Snowflake is
Trigger
non-binary
them.
and goes by they, them.
Non-binary?
Snowflake has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens. The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile. And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power.
So anti-Trump,
and Safe Space
in
is
other
the person who
words.
has the more defensive power. The idea was that they
Marvel,
would mirror each other
Trump
and
voters
complement
buy
each other.
comics too.
E negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a
B
rogue
negative.
life-saving blood transfusion, we assume from Michael Morbius. And now he has a very similar look and very similar vampire powers B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is great for a vampire
Wow.
character. And it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people who read our New Warriors
Really-
to feel all of the
really good
excitement
examples
that they
for
felt,
our youth
if
growing
they
up
read
today.
The 90s one. We want it to have big, colorful characters, personality clashes, romance.
It's okay to
diverse
grow up with
cast, which
obesity.
is something that the New Warriors titles
And
have always
use derogatory,
strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always
Oh my
felt like a
God.
reflection of the year that it came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think
This
we're
is
way more interested about it
awful.
being now.
And that's probably the problem. Notice something he said. We're way more interested in being now. You see, these social justice types want to shit on tradition. By the way, I have mentioned before that I have a shit ton of black friends, both here. Look, I worked in the corporate world. 50% of my workforce and my fellow management were African Americans. We all became very good friends of the family, do things together all the time. I mean, we have very much intermixed our cultures. And what I will tell you is you learn a lot. And you know what snowflake means in the African American community? It is a black person that wants to be a white person, generally speaking. And you named a comic character Snowflake. And also, by the way, that's a shot at Trump, too, by Marvel. This is nuts. Look, Marvel is trying its best to roar past Lucasfilm on the social justice totem pole and the race to destroy one of the most powerful IPs in entertainment we have ever seen. Right now, Lucasfilm, I think, is still number one, but when you consider where the MCU is after Infinity War and Endgame and that whole Infinity Saga conclusion, concluding with the biggest film of all time, it could be a hard, mighty, concrete, landing on concrete, wet, smacking to the ground, fall from grace for Marvel. It is clear they do not have a grip on their customer base at all. They don't have a clue. Or they don't. I want to say they don't care, but who the fuck doesn't want to make money? You're in business. Make money for your make products for your client base. Who's buying your books? This is going to I mean, 2,000 upvotes and 44,000 downvotes. You just don't see that kind of backlash. That's maybe the worst ratio I've ever seen. Wow. Trailblazer is going to be running and chasing after somebody, and she's going to be like, whoa, bitches. I mean, fuck it. I kid because I care. Oh my God, this is awful. Tell me what you think, Rhodes Squadron. That was possibly the longest trailer I've ever sit through since that Rian Johnson Lighthouse Last Jedi trailer. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
King Kong in the trunk. King Kong, King Kong, King Kong,